any of the guys who are going to be participating in Pro Day out here today to watch and hang out and stuff?
Oh, I've seen some of the seniors trickle in. Some of them have been here all semester. Some of them have been training somewhere else. Some of them have graduated and just coming in. But I expect all of them, the ones that are at least are trying out for the NFL, to be here tomorrow. And I think we're going to have a representative from every club here. That's at least either a scout or a coach.
You see a guy like Scooby that's put in the tape and
yeah.
How do you?
Yeah, Scooby's just a football player. Like I said, he may not win the combine test results, whatever that may be, but you watch him on film, he's a great football player. So, and they see that too. I mean, their top evaluating thing, I'm sure, is just like ours, is a film. You watch the film, and they only got a few games this year, but he's got enough the year before that they can see he's really good.
So Gerard Randall is a guy who's, I guess he's probably not going to be working out a quarterback.
No, all receiver. Yeah, he's been working at receiver in training, and in fact, he's been over here quite a bit the last month or so. So he'll run well. And he's got great ball skills. So I'm anxious. He's kind of a wild card in this whole thing. He may not get drafted, but I think somebody's going to give him an opportunity.
What do you make of what Brandon Leon's been able to do in spring ball this year and throwing his name into the running back?
Yeah, he's a walk-on that's worked his tail off. He's a good football player. He's done a good job in the weight room, and Coach McGee likes him. I think he's got a chance to help us, not only at running back, but maybe on some special teams too.
And you see him as a guy who would take over that third running back spot in the fall?
Well, I haven't looked at it from who's 1, 2, 3, because I don't know who's 1 and 2. And obviously we got a couple guys that are proven in Nick Wilson and Orlando Bradford, but I like to find 4 and 5, and whether we get it from a guy that's a slot receiver or we get it from a guy like Brandon, I think we'll have enough guys there.
Do you consider Wilson and Bradford to be about equal at this point, would you say?
I really haven't thought about, Coach McGee may have a kind of a ranking with him. I really kind of see them both as starters, guys that we feel that are good enough to win with no matter who's the first guy out there.
Do you feel comfortable with Josh Pollock kicking?
He's kicked well this spring. I think he's still in the mix for the punting job. But he's the times we've gone scrimmage situation, and we'll do a little bit more Friday. He's kicked really well, especially in the stadium. So maybe he might be one that it's good when the lights are on. I hope so.
Coach Randall said his preference is to not have Josh do both jobs or all 3 jobs. Is that your preference also?
Yeah, because I think you get worn down a little bit if you're doing that, and not only from a game standpoint, from a practice standpoint. So we've got a couple guys competing for that, and we may have 1 or 2 that we may add some specialists before the fall to compete on either one of those jobs.
So you talked previously about how you feel like the depth of the offensive line could be really good. Do you feel like the unit overall can become a real asset?
Well, I did think that, but half the guys that we were expecting to compete in that depth have missed a lot of spring. So I have concerns with our depth on the O-line, and hopefully the health, getting done with spring earlier will help that, and we'll be a little deeper than we have been, because we haven't been very deep there.
When you're able to have recruits out at practice, what do you hope they take away from that experience?
Well, more than anything else, just get a feel for our coaching staff, how they coach, and then being around the players, how the players interact. I think I'm biased. I think we got a special group, and I think they see the players, not only do they love football, but I think they like playing with their teammates, and they enjoy being around in this atmosphere. So every recruit that we've had that's been around practice or been around campus has fallen in love, I think, with our program. So that's our big deal, get them on campus.
When you get a commit this early, is it the nature of the business that you're just going to have to fend off other schools?
Yeah, it's sometimes it's frustrating. That's why I think there should be no signing date. I think if you commit and they commit and they want to sign, let them sign. I think it's frustrating now because there's so much pressure on these guys to commit that you think an early signing date will help. I think a no signing date may help more, just so everybody can vet the process out a little bit more, and you're not dealing with guys that are committing just to commit. And I don't think guys have done that to us. I think they've truly, if they've had a change of heart, they've had a change of heart. But it's very frustrating to have a relationship for a guy for a year or 2 years, and then all of a sudden it changes at the end. So it's a tough deal. But until we change the rules, and as as a governing body realize that what we have is not the best model, then we'll keep having frustrations, I guess.
Do you encourage the current players to attend pro day to just kind of see what it's
Oh, I
like?
invite them, but they got to go to class and they've got their meetings and they got their list. But a lot of them, based on past experiences, a lot of them will be hanging around because they want to be participating in it, when they're a senior. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of guys here.
When you have guys in town, how much do you rely on current players on their hosting skills to be able to convince them?
That's been really good. We got some great hosts. Some of our players are like undefeated in hosting. They every time they host, they get the guy. But you hope that you get a lot of guys that want to host, and we do. We have to turn guys away, but they enjoy it. They get a free meal out of it, and I think they like talking about Arizona. All right, guys. Okay.